All right, well, hey everybody, welcome. My name is Dave, and I'm here with Kim Stedman. Hey Kim, how
Hey
you doing?
everyone. I'm doing well. Thank you, Dave.
Now we're filming this on Monday, and beautiful day just happened this past weekend. And
Yes.
going to be honest with you, had to take some ibuprofen. Was a little sore. Uh, that's okay. It was a fantastic thing. And I just wanted to talk to you, Kim, because not only you a part of our team that helps with life groups and all those kinds of things, but you also help with Beautiful Day and have for years. And so I wanted to go through some stats and also get your unique perspective on
Sure.
this because you've been doing this for a while. So first of all, here's some stats from the Beautiful Day team, which I thought were fantastic. We had 1,191 volunteers. That's almost 1,200 volunteers. 6,330 total hours donated. That's man hours, or I
Right.
guess people hours at all these projects, which is just an astonishing amount of work done in one weekend. So that's incredible. Some other fun little facts: we had 996 windows cleaned at Moreland Middle School. That's a lot of window cleaning. We made 1,000 hygiene kits, and that was for what was that project for?
It's going to go out to the county for homeless shelters and things like that.
I got it. Awesome. And then we had 500 feet of ivy cleared at Payne Elementary. They had that huge area that was just covered with
Totally.
ivy, and it was like really aggressive, and they got rid of that. 19 cubic yards of mulch at the IHC. That's
Yeah.
what was that?
Indian Health Center.
Indian Health Center. That's right. And then the Salvation Army had like that kind of really neat thing that was it like a backyard or a side yard area?
It's a side yard they converted so that the men that live there will have a place to, it becomes their backyard, I guess, where they can
Right.
lounge and have a space to go.
1,600 square feet of sod and 15 tons of cobblestones to make that little patio area. It's just an incredible thing. So it was just, we're so grateful for all the folks. And of course, this is made possible by life groups and people who serve at WestGate. So thank you guys for leading your people, for serving together. But Kim, you have a unique perspective that other people don't have. You've been on the Beautiful Day leadership team now for, is it 3 years now, or is it more? It's longer. You've been serving in Beautiful Days for at least 7 years.
At
Because
least.
yeah, at least. But for the past couple of years, you've been on the leadership team. Is that right?
Right. Right.
And so you have a unique perspective in that you got to see all the projects pretty much come together, and you got to drive around this weekend and see a lot of the projects. So just from that, just tell me what you saw, and I'd love to hear your unique perspective on Beautiful Day, because you have a perspective most of us serve at one project, but you got to see a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true, Dave. Our team basically starts planning 9 months in advance, and we start looking for projects, whether it's word of mouth. We do some cold calling to see if people are interested in some opportunities that we could partner with them. But yeah, so we also go out and check all the projects out as we're trying to select them. But yeah, I had leads on Almaden Expressway, and that was my key project. But then I did get
Sure.
to go and see many of the projects there was a prep day last weekend, and then this past weekend. So it is really fun to just see what's happening out there, whether it's at the elementary schools or the parks. I had mentioned, Dave, to you about some of these projects, and I'll just touch on two right now briefly, but Salvation Army, you had mentioned some of the stats about that.
Yeah.
We now have a legacy project every year, so that's a project that we invest more time and energy and money into, and that is not just the weekend. So that's been going on since like July.
Like an
And
ongoing relationship with this organization, right?
well, we hope so. It's a project that's going to take, it took a lot longer than just the weekend, but we got to see firsthand, like the guys who live there, because they're in this program, just their hearts were filled like with joy and happiness about what people have done, and we don't know them, so they're like, why are you doing this for us? And one of the guys had come out and had seen the volunteers working. He went back in and said it was so unbelievable to see a bunch of guys working together with a lot of love for each other, because I don't
That's so
think they
cool.
see that in their lives. And then
Yeah.
briefly, Advent Boys Home down in South County,
Yeah.
in Morgan Hill. They're in a home because of just their drugs, alcohol addiction, and
Yeah.
court-ordered home where they live. And we put sod down and fencing, and we redid their gym. They have a little room that's a gym, but the boys
Cool.
got to come out and help and learn some skills with some of the equipment we were using, and just seeing people working and serving together. So those are just some fun little examples of just loving people, and we don't even know them. I mean, they don't
Yeah.
deserve, but anyways, it was a neat way to share God's love.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah. Now we've read through the stats, the numbers can be big, 1,200 volunteers, 6,000 volunteer hours, but really at the core, it's about influencing people. So were there any stories that kind of popped up in your time traveling around and seeing this that really resonated with your heart, just as somebody who's on the board, as somebody who has seen these projects?
Yes, and I got this secondhand from someone, but obviously you all know this is a COVID time, and we weren't even sure if this was going to happen, right? That we could
Right.
a beautiful day, and then we had to we filled out all the paperwork, so we were COVID approved, and then had to adjust projects to cover all those bases. But there's a family that served at Payne Elementary, and they just said, thanks for doing Beautiful Day in the midst of this pandemic and not backing out. They're a family that has been worried, and they really haven't been out for about 7 months.
Wow.
And they heard about precautions we were taking, and they decided to take a risk and step out and serve together. And they had a great time. And, they're feeling now, because of this experience, that they're going to try to move forward a little bit more with their life in the pandemic. So that's something, like, when I think about the weekend, that thought hadn't occurred to me, but hearing the feedback, that gave them an opportunity to be like, this was awesome and great to see people. And so that was one great
kind of
story.
helping them move out in confidence to serve, and to not be afraid, but also to say that there's a place where if we take precautions, we can actually live like the church and be the church. And that just really somehow really resonated and freed them and helped them and healed them. That's really awesome.
Right. And one other, I saw this, it's a Help a Vet home. So
I remember this. This was one of those, the blight homes that
I think so. Yeah. And it was very overgrown, very cluttered with items. And he's just, I did not meet him personally, but just had some struggles over his life after serving and in the military. But anyways, last weekend they had a prep day to get some things done in advance, because they had to get some posts in for fencing and let the cement dry. Right. So I saw it last weekend, and then heard that this weekend the wife of the vet was just in tears. And again, I didn't see this firsthand, but neighbors, the hope is that the neighbors are going to start seeing them more as just with compassion, and not just this nuisance in their, or annoyance in their community. It probably was one of the homes that maybe, compared to the rest of the neighborhood. Yeah.
It was, so these homes get put on the urban blight list by the city because they've fallen into disrepair.
Right.
And then for this team to come in and to make it clean and put in a new fence and to beautify it for someone who can't do it themselves, and then to see how the wife of this veteran's like, I think that this is going to help our neighbors see my husband, who is, hurt and disabled, in a more compassionate light, is that's really cool too. Like, our compassion might have sparked a little bit more compassion in general in this neighborhood.
Right.
That's a beautiful thing.
And one other quick thought, Dave, we are there, the recipients we serve, we definitely want to make a difference in their lives. But all the time when we're planning, we talk about our volunteers that are coming out, or the people who are serving from our community, and others that we want to develop a heart of service and compassion in our volunteers.
Yes.
It is about loving our neighbors, but like, what's going on in your own heart? And I have to say, at Almaden Expressway, again, one more little story. This woman shows up to serve. She's just going to be painting a sound wall, or, putting gravel down. I don't know how the conversation came up, but she is like a professional painter, started showing us her artwork. She has painted on stage before at WestGate when they've done teaching, and then you have a person up there,
Yeah.
So she's done that for WestGate. So she was at our project. One of those the boxes, electrical boxes that you see painted over all around the county. We she said she went home and got her personal paints, came back, and blessed us with this gift. And she has this beautiful she painted some fish and everything. But I thought about,
so she beautified a kind of one of those ugly kind of electrical boxes.
Yeah.
And she showed up to shovel gravel or clean, and she didn't even know it was part of it. And it just kind of came out that, hey, we could use your gifts.
We were, and who knew, right? And
that's so
hopefully
cool.
We won't have to ask for forgiveness later about that. Painted, but but then I'm like, hey, can we put your name on an ongoing list? So like next year for Beautiful Day, we know you can paint and do murals. We always need help somewhere on playgrounds.
We always need a mural.
She's like, sure. Exactly. So she was such a blessing to us too. But yeah, the heart for service and like developing that more and more in our people that are serving is what we really want to hone in on too. And one other thing, if you think you're going to go because you signed up to paint, but somehow they got ahead of schedule and you get shifted to do something else, we want that kind of like, just kind of go with the flow and let God use you, because maybe there's a person you're going to be next to that day who's also volunteering and serving, and there's something there that's going on that you didn't even think about, but the Lord knew. So it's all that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, it's astonishing. A beautiful day. We've been doing it for so many years, not just because of the impact it makes in the community, of course, but also because, like we talk about, again, Jesus modeled a life of service. That's what he does. And so we want to become like Jesus. So we serve out of compassion because Jesus served out of compassion. And I got to serve at the high school at the Guadalupe River cleanup. And at one point we found a bag of used drug needles. I mean, it was rough, but we pulled so much waste out of that creek, and the kids were so excited. The students and all the volunteers that I worked with were so excited that it was a tangible difference we made. We made San Jose a little bit better because we partnered with God in a heart of compassionate service, and we made San Jose a little bit better yesterday. And all those, that's what's exciting to me. And more than that, not just did we make the city a little bit better, but we kind of showed the heart of God, and the heart of God was birthed in us a little bit as we served. And even though I'm a little bit sore this morning, I'll be honest, I feel pretty good. So it was a great thing. So Kim, thank you and the Beautiful Day team for your untold dozens of hours of work. You guys have labored for a long time to make sure that October would work, to make sure that COVID would work. It was a beautiful weekend, so we're grateful to God for that. So thank you and the Beautiful Day team, all of you, do you want to give a shout out to any of the board members real quick, just because I think that they deserve. We'll do that in the service, but just.
I mean, Bob Froese, who is a life group leader, Vicki Field, Phil Alney, Jen Lady. I'm not going to recall. It's like when you're doing the Academy Awards, I can't recall all the directors. Matt Persing is our brains behind registration and is amazing. Jen Lady does all of the acquisitions and finds something for everyone as far as all the projects and supplies that we need. Many great directors. Finney Abraham, we work so closely with because, of course, we're local compassion. And I do want to give a shout out to the life group leaders too, as far as you all. There's so many groups that served, and sometimes it was at different sites. You couldn't all be at the same time, and that's it. Either way works great. I've gotten some pictures back that we're going to be getting into our Herald on Thursday that will be sent out just to highlight. But you guys encouraging your people in your group to serve is so helpful and so awesome, and it gets you out doing something together as well, which is a beautiful thing.
Thank you, life group leaders, and thank you, Beautiful Day team. And we're going to spend some more time talking about this in the services, but man, what a great time. Kim, thanks for being with us. Thanks for sharing your experiences, and thank you, life group leaders, for taking everyone to serve. We're super grateful for you, and what a beautiful day it was.
Bye-bye.
See you guys. We'll see you soon.